Onto matters economy and entrepreneurial opportunities that can contribute to entrepreneurship or economic growth in South Africa. And while we're trying to rebuild the country's ailing economy, do our solutions lie with big business or with small business? With an estimate that annual GDP contribution of around 34% and employing more than half of the country's total workforce, some business leaders believe that small businesses represent one of South Africa's most promising economic lifelines. But without support from government and financial institutions, the sector is bound to shrink like many other aspects of the economy already. Joining us now to speak more about this, we've got the Chief Investment Officer at Business Partners Limited, Jeremy Lang. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, Jeremy. And it's a very important topic that we're touching on here in terms of small and medium businesses and the contribution that they can make to job creation and economic growth in the country. Tell us about their importance, particularly when it comes to economic growth, which unfortunately in South Africa we haven't seen for a long while now.
Indeed. Good evening, and also to your viewers. I think there are many levers that one looks to when trying to stimulate the economy. Certainly SMEs are one of them, contributing to just over a third of the country's GDP. However, we need to create an environment that is one that they can thrive in, one that is conducive for them to grow. But without that support, it's very difficult as a collective SME industry to perform, to grow, and to stimulate the economy.
Now, we've had the unfortunate situation of load shedding for years now, and obviously it does present itself as an opportunity for budding entrepreneurs who want to get into the space and create a solution to the problem. Tell us about the solar panel or the solar industry of load shedding and creating solutions around the load shedding using solar, and how entrepreneurs can get into that particular space.
Yes, I think one opportunity that does exist at the moment is renewable energies in the broad sense, not necessarily just limited to solar. And that's not just necessarily about the supply, it's actually looking at the entire supply chain, from importing, assembly, transport, installations, certifications, maintenance. It just gives rise to a whole range of opportunities within the industry. And I think this does give rise to opportunities within the SME industries. But to be able to take use of this opportunity, they do need access to markets, they do need funding, they do need skill development. And without the support, it may be a missed opportunity in the end.
Yeah, it would be a missed opportunity indeed. And of course, something that would also be a missed opportunity for government is the lack of the recognition that small and medium businesses create in terms of job creation in the country. So that importance of the unemployment crisis that we have in the country and the role that small and medium businesses play in this regard, we do know that they are some of the biggest employers of South Africans at the moment.
Yes, quite right. I mean, if you think about 1.5 million businesses in numbers, if each of them just employed one person, one or two people, we could make quite significant inroads into improving the unemployment figures as it stands at the moment. But it's not just about employing within the existing business, it's also about bringing new entrepreneurs into the formal economy that also creates more jobs in the process. So I think with the two dimensions, both employing more within the existing business fold, but also creating new entrepreneurs, new businesses, also gives rise to employment opportunities, but once again, needs to be supported by an environment in which is conducive for them to grow.
What about the role that women play in this particular field, Jeremy? We speak about entrepreneurship broadly, but also I suppose there is the need to consider the inclusion of various sects within society and women being at the center at the moment, the role that they play in this regard.
Yes, I think very much we've seen an increase in entrepreneurs, in women entrepreneurs in previously male-dominated industries such as construction, such as logistics, such as engineering, even within the supply chain that we just described. So that's positive. However, there are historical legacies and inequalities that gives rise to challenges that women entrepreneurs face and makes it more difficult for them to access funding, markets, etc. But from our experience, certainly at least equal in the ability to operate a business successfully. So it's positive to see the progressive move of more and more women in business, but not yet to the extent that it should be. So we also once again need to create opportunities for them to come through the system in spite of the challenges that they faced historically.
And of course, one of the things that they would need to come through is the red tape. And of course, we need to find a practical approach to getting rid of the red tape and the regulatory environment that prevents small and medium businesses from thriving in the current economic climate. Jeremy, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. That is Jeremy Lang, who is the Chief Investment Officer at Business Partners Limited.
Now,